What if I told you there's a country where medieval castles rise above rivers like something out of a legend, where entire cities were rebuilt stone by stone after war, and where mountains and forests still hide secrets of wild bison and forgotten villages? Welcome to Poland, a land of resilience, beauty, and timeless stories. From the colorful streets of Warsaw and Kraków, to the solemn silence of Auschwitz, to the rolling peaks of the Tatras and the hidden trails of the Bieszczady, every corner of this country holds a tale waiting to be discovered. In this journey, we'll explore Poland's most captivating places, castles, cities, and natural wonders, each one carrying history, myth, and a spirit you can feel in the air. Stay with us until the end, because the deeper you go, the more Poland reveals a side of itself you never expected. Poland is a country full of surprises, and the more you look, the more fascinating details you uncover. Here stands Malbork Castle, the largest brick fortress in the world, so vast it feels like a city of red walls and towers rising straight out of a medieval legend. Travel south, and you'll find the Wieliczka salt mine, an underground labyrinth stretching for hundreds of kilometers, where chapels, statues, and even chandeliers were carved entirely from salt by miners' hands. Poland is also home to Białowieża Forest, Europe's last primeval woodland, where the mighty European bison still roam freely as they did thousands of years ago. In the lively city of Wrocław, over 600 bronze dwarfs hide on street corners and bridges, each one telling its own little story. While in Sopot, you'll see the extraordinary Crooked House, a playful building that seems to bend and melt like something out of a fairy tale. And then there is Warsaw, a city that almost vanished when nearly 85% of it was destroyed in World War II, only to rise again, rebuilt brick by brick, so faithfully that its old town is now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Add to this Poland's 7,000 shimmering lakes, snow-capped mountains in the south, and golden beaches in the north, and you discover a country where history, nature, and imagination are all woven together into something truly unforgettable. Warsaw, the capital of Poland, rises proudly from the banks of the Vistula River, a city that wears its scars and triumphs like badges of honor. Walking into the old town, you're greeted by colorful facades that look centuries old, yet many were rebuilt stone by stone after World War II. The market square, with its cobblestone charm and lively atmosphere, feels like stepping into a painting where every detail whispers of resilience. As you wander the narrow streets, the towering royal castle comes into view, a majestic reminder of Poland's royal past, its red walls glowing under the sun. Beyond the old town, Warsaw unfolds as a city of contrasts. One moment you're standing in front of the Palace of Culture and Science, a colossal Soviet-era gift that looms like a giant over the modern skyline. Its height makes it impossible to ignore, yet surrounding it are sleek glass skyscrapers that tell the story of a city charging forward into the future. Strolling through the wide boulevards, you sense this blend of history and modernity, where old resilience meets new ambition. For a gentler side of Warsaw, escape into Łazienki Park, a vast green oasis in the heart of the city. Here, graceful peacocks wander freely, and serene ponds mirror the neoclassical palace on the Isle. It's a peaceful counterpoint to the city's bustling energy, a reminder that Warsaw is not only about its dramatic history, but also about beauty, reflection, and harmony with nature. Kazimierz Dolny feels like a village painted by an artist's brush, nestled along the gentle curves of the Vistula River. As you step into its main square, Rynek, the pastel-colored townhouses immediately catch your eye, each decorated with ornate details from centuries past. The cobblestones beneath your feet seem to carry whispers of merchants and travelers who once made this place a bustling hub of trade. Climbing the gentle hill above the square, you'll find the ruins of a medieval castle that once protected this riverside jewel. From its crumbling walls, the view stretches far across the town and the rolling green hills beyond, dotted with orchards and meadows. Not far away stands the Three Crosses Hill, where wooden crosses reach for the sky, reminding visitors of the town's spiritual roots. But Kazimierz Dolny's beauty isn't only found in its monuments, it lives in the landscape surrounding it. The town is embraced by the Kazimierz Landscape Park, with its winding gorges carved into soft loess soil. Walking through these narrow, sandy ravines, sunlight filters down in golden shafts, creating a magical, almost secret world atmosphere. Each step feels like an adventure, a chance to wander into nature's hidden corridors, where history, legend, and the quiet pulse of the land all meet in harmony. Kraków is a city where every stone seems to carry a legend. Standing in the main market square, one of the largest in Europe, you're surrounded by a tapestry of history. Colorful townhouses, the soaring twin towers of St. Mary's Basilica, and the elegant arches of the Cloth Hall. As the midday sun lights up the square, the trumpet call from St. Mary's echoes across the rooftops, its abrupt ending a haunting reminder of a medieval legend. Wandering through the square feels like stepping into the beating heart of Poland, alive with tradition and timeless charm. From here, a stroll along the royal route takes you to Wawel Hill, where the grand Wawel Castle rises above the city. Its courtyards, towers, and cathedral tell stories of kings and queens who once ruled Poland from this very place. The golden dome of the Sigismund Chapel gleams proudly in the daylight, while the statue of the Wawel dragon at the foot of the hill recalls myths of brave knights and fearsome beasts. Standing here, you sense that Kraków is more than just a city. It's a stage where history, legend, and imagination perform together. Beyond the castle, the charm of Kraków stretches into Kazimierz, the old Jewish quarter, where centuries of culture and memory are etched into the walls and courtyards. Walking its narrow streets during the day, you discover quiet synagogues, hidden squares, and traces of a once thriving community. Not far away, the Planty Park wraps around the old town like a green ribbon, its shaded paths offering a peaceful walk under tall trees. Here, Kraków shows its gentler side, inviting you to pause and simply enjoy the harmony between nature and history. Auschwitz-Birkenau is not just a place on the map, it is a solemn landscape of memory. Walking through the main entrance, under the infamous Iron Gate with its chilling inscription, you are immediately struck by the quiet. The red brick barracks of Auschwitz I stand in rows, their stark uniformity echoing the lives of those who once passed through here. The sunlight falls heavily on the gravel paths, illuminating barbed wire fences and watchtowers that remain as silent witnesses to the past. Every step feels weighted with history, as though the ground itself remembers. Further on, the expanse of Auschwitz II Birkenau stretches into the distance, its sheer scale overwhelming. The railway tracks lead directly under the central guard tower and extend to the ruins of the gas chambers and crematoria. The open fields and skeletal remains of wooden barracks give a haunting sense of both vastness and emptiness, amplifying the silence of what once was. Yet even here, amid the heaviness of memory, there is a sense of responsibility carried forward. The preserved ruins, the exhibitions, and the memorials scattered across the grounds serve as a voice for those who cannot speak. Walking through Auschwitz-Birkenau during the day is not about sightseeing, it is about remembrance. The bright sky above contrasts with the dark history below, reminding every visitor that this place endures not only as a tragedy of the past, but as a warning for the future. The Tatra Mountains rise like a natural fortress along Poland's southern border, their jagged peaks piercing the sky and glistening under the sunlight. As you step onto the trails near Zakopane, the crisp mountain air fills your lungs, carrying the scent of pine forests and alpine meadows. Crystal-clear streams weave their way through valleys, their waters rushing down from melting snow high above. Each turn of the path reveals a new panorama, towering cliffs, rocky ridges, and wide-open views that make you feel both small and exhilarated. Among the Tatra's treasures is Morskie Oko, the Eye of the Sea, a glacial lake often described as the jewel of the mountains. Its emerald waters mirror the surrounding peaks, creating a scene so perfect it feels almost painted. Hiking up to this lake during the day, with the sun casting a golden glow on the ridges, is an experience of both challenge and reward. The reflections shift with the breeze, and for a moment, it feels as though time itself has paused in this secluded corner of the mountains. But the Tatras are not just about dramatic peaks and lakes. They are alive with wildlife and trails that invite exploration. Mountain goats leap nimbly across steep slopes, while eagles soar high above, their shadows gliding silently over the valleys. Wooden huts dot the landscape, once used by shepherds tending their flocks. Following the well-marked paths through the Tatra National Park, you sense that this is more than a place of natural beauty. It is a land of legends and endurance, where nature's power and peace meet in perfect harmony. Karpacz sits at the foot of the Karkonosze Mountains, a charming town where the spirit of the mountains blends with history and legend. As you wander its streets during the day, the towering peaks of Śnieżka, the highest mountain in the range, dominate the horizon. The climb to its summit is one of the most rewarding adventures here. Stone paths winding upward through forests and alpine meadows until you finally reach the round, weather-beaten observatory perched on the top. From there, the view stretches endlessly, as if the whole world has unfolded beneath your feet. In the heart of Karpacz stands a remarkable treasure, the Vangstave Church. This wooden church, originally built in Norway in the 12th century, was transported here piece by piece and now sits gracefully against the backdrop of the mountains. But Karpacz is more than just history and peaks. It's a place where nature shapes every experience. The Karkonosze National Park, surrounding the town, is full of waterfalls, glacial rock formations, and mysterious valleys. The Łomnica River rushes through with untamed energy, while paths lead to wonders like the Wild Waterfall and the Stave Rocks, shaped by centuries of wind and weather. Exploring Karpacz during the day, you feel a balance between serenity and adventure, where every path invites you to discover a hidden corner of mountain magic. Wrocław is a city of islands and bridges, where the Oder River branches into countless channels that weave the old and new together. At the heart of the city lies the Market Square, one of the most colorful in Europe. The Gothic Old Town Hall, with its intricate details and astronomical clock, stands proudly as a reminder of centuries of civic life. Sunlight bounces off the pastel facades surrounding the square, making the whole place feel like a living canvas. Walking here during the day, you're immediately caught between the energy of a modern city and the charm of a medieval jewel. Crossing over the river, you arrive at Ostrów Tumski, the oldest part of Wrocław. Here, cobblestone streets lead you past centuries-old buildings and into the shadow of the Cathedral of St. John the Baptist, its tall twin spires piercing the sky. The view from the cathedral's tower opens onto a panorama of red rooftops and winding waterways below. In the quiet of the day, you notice the small details: iron lanterns lining the streets, ivy-covered walls, and a sense that this island has stood unchanged for centuries, even as the city has grown around it. But Wrocław also has a playful side that reveals itself as you wander deeper into the city. Scattered across squares, steps, and bridges are the famous bronze dwarfs, tiny statues hidden in plain sight, each with its own character and story. Searching for them during the day becomes a delightful adventure, a treasure hunt that turns the city into an open-air gallery. From grand architecture to whimsical details, Wrocław shows itself as a place where history, culture, and imagination live side by side. Poznań greets you with one of the most vibrant squares in Poland, the Stary Rynek, or Old Market Square. Here, rows of colorful Renaissance townhouses stand shoulder to shoulder, their ornate facades glowing in the sunlight. At the center rises the Town Hall, a masterpiece of Renaissance architecture, crowned with its iconic tower. From the square, a short walk takes you to Ostrów Tumski, the oldest part of the city, and often called the Cradle of Poland. It was here that the country's first rulers made their home, and where the Cathedral of St. Peter and St. Paul still stands in quiet majesty. Stepping inside, the golden chapel gleams, holding the tombs of Poland's earliest kings. In the bright daylight streaming through stained glass windows, you sense the weight of history. This is not just Poznan's story, but the very foundation of the nation itself. Yet Poznan is more than history. It's also a city of greenery and open space. The Citadel Park, spread across the site of former fortifications, is now a vast expanse of gardens, sculptures, and memorials. From the lively square to the sacred cathedral, from the historic heart to its peaceful parks, Poznan by day reveals itself as a city where tradition, memory, and renewal are beautifully intertwined. Gdańsk is a city that feels like a gateway to history, standing proudly on the Baltic coast with its unique blend of Gothic spires, Renaissance facades, and Hanseatic traditions. Walking along the Long Market, you're greeted by rows of colorful merchant houses, their narrow fronts rising elegantly toward the sky. At the center stands Neptune's fountain, a symbol of the city's eternal connection to the sea. The Gothic Renaissance main town hall watches over it all, its tower visible from every angle, as though reminding visitors of the city's golden age when trade and ships ruled its destiny. Following the royal way, you eventually reach the Green Gate, where the Motława River shimmers in the daylight. Ships glide across the water, just as they did centuries ago, and as you stroll along the quayside, the sound of gulls mingles with the rhythm of the river. Every brick, every arch, every detail along this harbor seems to tell a story of sailors, merchants, and voyages that stretched across the Baltic and beyond. But Gdańsk is also a city of resilience and transformation. A short walk from the old town leads you to the Gdańsk shipyard, where the Solidarity movement was born and history changed forever. By day, Gdańsk offers not only beauty, but also a profound sense of continuity, where medieval splendor, maritime strength, and modern history all converge in one remarkable place. Poland is a land of stories, of resilience, beauty, and unforgettable places that stay with you long after you've left. If this journey inspired you, imagine where the next one will take us. So, if you enjoyed exploring with us, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel, because there are so many more adventures waiting just around the corner.